Hey everybody, this is Alzorath, and welcome to Forgotten Myths. This is a game that I covered quite a ways back. It's been a long time since I actually covered it. I covered it and the initial 3 starter decks that were available in the game, and they've actually made several changes since then, and they've even brought in an additional team to help develop the game, and they are releasing on Steam this month. I don't have an exact date, but they said 3rd week of March, so it should be soon. So let's go ahead and take a look at what we've got as far as the interface, and I'm going to include a link up to the actual gameplay where we'll be playing some single player matches, maybe 1, maybe 2, depending on what we run across and how long that takes. It'll be up in the top right, there'll be the little eye thing, and it'll be a card, or there'll be an annotation up there. It just depends. Depends on how YouTube wants to work today. But anyway, let's go ahead and go over the interface just real quick. Okay, we have the marketplace, which again, it has emeralds. That is its premium currency. Here's the price ranges. I'm still up in the air as to whether they're fair or not. I need to actually do the math on it, and I haven't. So this is what we're looking at as far as emeralds go. If I decide to continue covering the game long term, I will invest in some emeralds, but it's going to take time to save up the money for that. So let's go ahead and close that. And we have a few other interfaces here that we're not actually used to. We have the auction house. We must reach level 10 to get it. I have a feeling it's a place where you can sell and buy cards for, I'm guessing, gold, but I'm not positive on that one. We have a promo thing where you can get promo cards and stuff like that for emeralds. I actually spent some emeralds on Marana simply because I wanted to try it out. I don't know if you can use them in PvP or not, but yeah, I wanted my black-red card for my, well, mostly black with a little bit of red deck. Seemed kind of interesting, and it also gives you an idea of how the colors pair. Black and red compare together, green and white compare together, green and red, blue and white, black and blue, and then there's gold, which is kind of neutral. So that's kind of like your color wheel there. You can understand what they're from. You can get tables, you can get portraits and stuff like that. I'd still just use the basic portrait. I might buy a custom one later on, but I don't know. Let's go ahead and close that. You can buy individual cards for gold, so if you're building a specific deck, it's not terribly difficult to get the cards you need. Obviously, rarer cards are going to be more expensive, so you'll see that the prices go up, but it's possible to get play sets of what you want for relatively straightforward means, so that's kind of an important thing. You do have neutral cards here as well, which are these kind of goldy cards. Now, I noticed just right now that I can't buy the green or blue cards in here, and I think that might be a level restriction for me. We can sell cards as well for gold, and they don't sell for too bad of gold, actually. So if you really just don't want to play a color, you can sell the ones that you get from that color for a relatively reasonable fee. Let's see, if we want to sell that one, it'll sell for 100 gold. Are you sure you want to sell it? No, I really don't. I'm going to eventually want to build decks in each color, so I'm not going to sell any cards because there is a bit of a loss there if memory serves. Let's see if we can buy that card right away. Where are you over here? There you are. Yeah, it's 250 for that card to buy it, 100 for it to sell. Not a bad exchange rate. That's a little bit shy of 2 to 1, so yeah, not too bad there. In our packs area, this is going to be one of my first gripes. I actually have a handful of gripes about this game, but overall, it's a positive experience with the game. You can buy the white, red, and black from the beginning for 3,000 gold or 10 emeralds. You can buy mixed boosters for gold, I believe, from the beginning. I haven't tried it before level 5, so yeah, that's a thing. It just gives you a variety of cards. Now, the epic booster is all emeralds. It gives you a 6-card pack that contains 1 epic or legendary and 5 rares, so you have a really high chance of getting highly valued cards. Whereas this one only gives you a 6-card pack that will receive 1 rarer, uncommon, and 4 common cards of various colors. So yeah, it kind of varies the contents of them a little bit, but that's an important thing. Energy boosters are only for emeralds. You will receive 4 +2 energy cards with a slight chance to get an epic +3 energy card. This is the main thing I would recommend spending emeralds on. I do wish there was a gold price for this one. Energy booster, I think, or at least a economy energy booster that gives you a rarer chance of getting a +3, but gives you access to those +2s, even if it's just less of them, because this one gives you 4 +2s, which are, I think, in my opinion, vital to getting the early energy advantage, whereas there are cards that take advantage of the 1 energy cards, but those are not as common. And down here is the major actual gripe. This is going to be that these are actually level blocked on the gold end. So if I had 6,000 gold, I have to be at least level 12 to purchase that item with coins. I have to be at least level 16 to purchase that item with coins. I have to be at least level 20 with that. I don't think that's fair, because I can buy these with emeralds right away. I can get them at level 1 with emeralds, which I understand, but I don't really like that they're higher prices, because they're just other factions, but I can live with that. I don't like the level block, because that restricts people who can't play frequently to having to spend the emeralds, whereas in most other games you can grind up for that one color that you really, really want. Now, that said, yes, you can get those cards from the mixed booster. The mixed booster is going to give you, let's go ahead and just show you one. I'll buy it. I need the cards anyway. It's going to give you a mix of cards from the various factions. Right here, you see that I have 3 green cards. You also get Forger and stuff like that in blue in these particular packs. So it works out okay, but you can't really like gear yourself to wanting to play green early on, or blue early on, or Forgers early on, unless you grind out those levels. And I don't like that. I really don't like that, unless you're willing to spend money on emeralds. And let's see, let's go ahead and look at the cost of that just real quick. 20, 25, and 30 for those for the emerald purchase prices. So let's close that. And what's this? 40 emeralds for $2? Basically, that's a $2 booster there. That's a little bit steep for like just 6 cards, because these are, oh, never mind, they're 10 cards. Sorry. For a 10 card pack. I think these might be 10 cards as well. Yeah, the mixed one is the only one that's 6. So, yeah, I kind of wish they were all just the same cost all the way across the board, because this is 4 packs for $2. So that's 50 cents a pack. That's dirt cheap. That's actually undercosted, in my opinion. So that's 40 cards. That's an entire deck right there. Pre-built decks, you can also buy those. I haven't level tested these. I think you might. Yeah, level 16 for that one. Level 16. Level 12. Yeah, there's just level blocks on these as well, which is a little bit rough. I don't have enough coins for the other ones, but you can buy the white, red, or black for gold at any level, I think. So let's go ahead and close that. And that's pretty much the marketplace. Let's go over to the inventory. I'll go over quests last. Inventory here, this is going to be the only other major gripe for me. That is that the decks are exclusionary. As you can see, I don't have a +3 energy here. If I go back to my original deck, you'll see I do have a +3 energy. It's just that once it's in a deck, it's not available to other decks. Digital TCGs in general have learned that deck saving is best to do with a basically deck list system rather than a deck, like physical deck system. So it's just a hassle to move them around from deck to deck, and you'd have to keep a physical list so you'd know what to put in at each given time, which is a little bit ridiculous. I do wish that they could just, I want to use the +3 in, say, 2 different decks, but I only have 1. It's a little bit unfair to have me have to actually remove it and add it to the other one. It's inconvenient and a barrier to playing. So that is the major issue I have with that. As far as the color selections in your deck, that's pretty simply explained by it is a color wheel. So if we try to add the white one, white is not allowed in decks containing red or black. It's based on the ones that you place in there first. So yeah, red or black deck. You can't put white, you can't put green. You can't put blue with red, for example. This is a way of balancing it with a 1 resource system. Energy is the only resource. So yeah, you can't have it crossing certain lines. It's just like hero systems and stuff like that, where you can have a little bit of bleed over into other factions if it is in the interest of the game balance. But this is their way of limiting it. I don't mind this one. I do wish I could have a black-white deck for the polarizing effect there, but it is understandable that it is a balance issue to have that, since there is only the 1 resource system. And I do like the 1 resource system, don't get me wrong on that. I like not being as easily energy screwed or mana screwed or whatever you want to call it. So we'll go ahead and close that. That's the decks building thing. I do think that they need to change it from inventory to deck construction or deck or something like that. but I do see that they are naming things after their individual buildings, except for quests and single player. So library over here just tells you about yourself. Leaderboard gives you the leaderboards. I'm not going to be on the top 10 of that ever. Arena is PvP. There's a little bit of a graphical glitch and tearing with that one, but it's the only one that has that issue. Rewards. I currently don't have any pending rewards, but you get those by quests. Be online again every day, gets you a random card. I actually showed this one off in an attempt at recording before, but we'll talk about that another time. Basically, I ruined that recording. We have that completed whenever you complete it each day. Dailies reset each day. I currently have 1 of 5 victories. Just playing through, if I get up to 5 victories, whenever I click on the chest, it'll give me 500 gold, which is very nice. It's pretty easy to get gold in this game, so if you need specific cards, it's pretty accessible. It's just you have to get up to the levels to buy them individually, I guess. You have PvP in the arena and battlegrounds, which can get you emeralds and gold. You only get a limited amount of emeralds from actually completing the storyline, so you'll see that, hey, 60, 40, 40, and 25 from completing the different storylines. Classic storyline is what I'm on right now, so I'd be able to get 25 emeralds from it. You have gold for getting through a certain number of rotations through the single player quests, so you can get a little bit of gold from that, and it builds up as you get up into the higher levels of quests there. And you get PvP once you reach a threshold. So if you get 500 PvP victories, you'll get 25,000 gold lump sum. Currently I have 0 PvP victories because I haven't played the PvP since they introduced that. So, and I think before I only played 1 PvP, and that was just to test it out. And I lost it because my deck sucked. 1,000 PvP victories gets you 100 emeralds, though. So there's a few people ticking around with 100 emeralds, which is a decent chunk of change worth of these. That's what, $5 worth of emeralds there. So that's pretty nice. But anyway, if you guys didn't listen through all that stuff and are now clicking on the link, you're going to be watching us play the single player campaign. Woohoo! Hey, how are you guys doing? Welcome. So let's go ahead and get the path is blocked. Right now I have a enemy faction right here. Storyline wise, rather light. I do wish there was more expansion on the lore and the world, because there's tidbits of interest here and there, and the artwork is interesting and the environment is interesting, but I would be interested to know more about the story in the actual game. You have a sentence here, and whenever you go into these guys, you get a one-off little sentence. I do wish there was a way to get more lore out of this. Basically a bit of information about the actual game. So let's go ahead and fight him. You'll notice he has 30 life, I have 20. This is the fact that I've beaten this rotation of the campaign once before, so it ups the difficulty by increasing his life. The AI is still AI, so it's a little bit basic. Needless to say, most AI in games like this are, so you just learn to live with it, or you wait for them to develop a stronger AI. Now, I'm going to go ahead and discard something that I shouldn't discard, just so you guys see that mechanic. You can discard 1 card per turn over here on the right in this little purple haloed area. If you discard it, you draw another card. I'll show you guys how the energy works next time. I'm doing this during my creature phase. Usually I do this during my creature phase just because it makes sense to me, but I don't know if you can do it during your spell phase as well. You currently have 2 phases per turn. One player does their creature phase, and then the other player does their creature phase. Then one player does their spell phase, then the other player does their spell phase, and then the turn resolves. I'm currently in my creature phase. He already did his, so I'm going to drop out this little dragon guy. This guy does 2 damage whenever he's played out. It just describes it down there. He costs 2 energy to cast, which disappears whenever you play him, which is a little bit weird. I do kind of wish that stayed out there. That way you could use it as a mechanism for future cards. Having their energy cost be a mechanism for future cards leads to more diverse cards, so that's kind of an important thing that I wish kind of lingered around, but it doesn't. You can see that the energy cost is actually listing on these guys as well. And then you have attack and life. You'll notice some cards don't have attack. That's going to be locations. They have a certain amount of life because things will deal damage to them. Can I please double click that? Oh, I ran out of time. Oops. You'll see in the bottom left, I do have a timer down there. It's 90 seconds, gives you a minute and a half for a turn. As long as this land is in play, you gain 1 life every turn. And if it's in one of these squares, actually gives additional life to the creatures in front of it. I'll show that off next turn most likely. So let's go ahead and end phase unless they play something that I am particularly afraid of. And you can see we did a little bit more damage there, which is pretty good. So let's go ahead and play out this other energy card. I'm going to show you a little bit of a gripe. You see the card move right here. You'd think it would go into the energy pile. No, you have to move it up a certain point so it's actually above the orb. I do wish there was an indicator as to where that was, or a little bit more leniency. Maybe expand it out to this area right here so that if it's touching the orb, the energy card will be kind of obviously taken, or even just expand it over to this side since the energy card cannot be played on the actual board. So, and you don't want to actually confuse it with the discard pile. So maybe just have it be this entire area over here so you can just quickly drag it over there and put it up on top. That'd be kind of nice. But let's go ahead and boost up to 4 energy there. We'll drop out another one of these little dragon guys just in the same spot, and let's show off what this land does. You notice we went first this time. See, it gives plus 3 HP to both those guys, boosting them up to 6 life, so they're going to stick around for a while. They're not going to do a whole lot. They're kind of useless after their cast. They're just kind of a burst damage source. And we've got an enemy creature. This is going to reduce the cost of... When you play Jewel Thief, the next non-Jewel Thief attack zone card you play this turn will cost 1 less energy. Unfortunately, that was all his energy. He was just putting out a dude. We don't have any spells for me to show off, but this is my spell phase. I do have a card in here called Fear, and you'd see a yellow halo around it, and I'd be able to drag it and drop it on an opposing creature, and it would cause its effect during my spell phase. Now, Fear causes them to basically be disabled for 2 turns, so they can't use their attack. They can still use abilities, but they can't attack, so it's an important thing to remember, I guess. We didn't get another energy card, which kind of disheartens me. I may have to get rid of a card just to draw another one. So let's do another discard, see if we can draw an energy card. And we did. We successfully drew an energy card. So I'm going to go up to 6 resources here. That means I can cast pretty much anything I want. This one, I don't want to drop the dragon in front of because it'll get a boost to its attack. So if we want to just like let that one be, we can. Let's go with you over there so you can do some extra damage there. End phase, and it's going to go ahead and ship. This Ouroboros is not very useful in this particular matchup because it's really only good against like white and green creatures. If we go ahead and double click on it, I can show it to you. Deal 2 damage to target white or green card. It works against lands as well, but let's go ahead and end phase there. Attack phase in, and that's pretty much how it plays out. Against the AI, you generally start at a life disadvantage later on, so I'm going to discard. Let's discard the Ouroboros, see if we can get a few more resources there. Oh, and we did. We're going like luck and all kinds of stuff here. So I could actually drop out both these creatures. She gains plus 2 AP and life drain if you control black cards, so let's go ahead and pair her against nothing, honestly. I don't want to pair her against that. Now, this one will gain an extra, like, lot of attack if I put this guy in front of it. So I'm going to actually put him off to the side. So we're trying to get as much damage through as possible. We can take this 2 damage. We're healing a little bit each turn, so I'm not as worried about it. And these 2 are going to trade right here this turn. That's one advantage to having more life. He's trying to block that, and he's going to put... Oh, ow. So they're going to trade as well. This sucks. So let's go ahead and end turn there. We don't have any spells. I can't show them off. But that's pretty much how the matches play out. You have the 2 phase turns. That thing died so readily. And we're going to do a little bit of damage through. They're going to trade out. These 2 down here are going to trade out. If your opponent dies before the end of the turn, or before the end of the phases are resolved... Oh, there's a spell. Yay. I don't even need to use this energy. So I can actually discard this energy to draw additional cards. So if we go like this, bloop, we've got... oh, we got Immortals. Sweet. We draw up other things. So this one, it only gets its life drain effect whenever it hits another creature. So yeah, it needs to fight something to actually get that, but it boosts its own life whenever it does. So let's see. What do we want to actually play out? Cannot be attacked by white cards and just a dude. Let's go ahead and drop you there. We want to just get damage in. We will put you... we can't cast... Oh, yeah, we can. We can cast you at the same time. Let's put you there. We'll have you take out that annoying creature right there that grows if we put something big in front of it. End phase, they're going to get the ability to cast cards. They did not do anything, so we have the ability to cast this because we have the resources for it. What we want to put it on is that one. You'll see it dims out and can't attack, so my creature will be able to attack it without any repercussions. So end phase there. We'll take a little bit of damage off of this, but we're going to be doing a lot more to them. And this thing will die before it's able to attack. So smash, smash, smash. It's down. They're down to 2 life. There's not much they can do. Let's discard that. We've got a +3 energy. That's my only one. So yay. Let's go ahead and dump that in there for 11 energy, and we'll throw him just on the wall there and end phase. I think I've shown off most of the basics. There are enchantments that you can place on creatures that give them various boosts or give you specific boosts, which is kind of nice. Oh, we're going to gain... That thing's going to be dead and give that life, but they're going to be dead before the end of that. So as soon as they reach 0 life, you'll notice, oh, he plays an enchantment. Speak of the devil. That gives him +1 energy as long as that creature's alive with that attachment. But the AI usually wastes it, and I haven't really tried out attachments too much myself. They tend to be sticking around. They're like spells that you cast on your turn, but they stick on the creature permanently. So, and one interface thing here that I would recommend, level progress. Whenever you get this, it would be nice to actually have it more visually satisfying. If whenever it comes up, if it would display your starting XP and then add to it, like visually represent that, that'd be a lot more satisfying as a player to see that. It's just a little quirk that I would put in there just to make it a little bit nicer. XP, we got 200. We get a little bit of gold from this. Again, I said gold is relatively easy to come by, so building your deck is not terribly hard to do, but you do want to be aware of Emerald's power in this particular game to get you a little bit ahead. So click continue there. Head on the collection front. I'm not going to go in for a second game. I think that one explained most of the mechanics fairly well. As we complete these, I'll get access to more gold, more emeralds, and stuff like that. And yeah, that's pretty much where we're standing at in the Forgotten Myths. There is one thing that I would like to mention. I wish there was an exit button. There's a logout button which takes you to the main screen, which I'm not going to show because it's got like stuff on it. But when you log out, there isn't a way to just exit the game. I wish the X either lingered up here and you could still just exit the game itself, or there was an exit game thing in here, but there isn't like a straightforward way to just exit the game. I have to manually close it from my taskbar, which is a little bit awkward. I'm not sure if that's intentional or not. Rewards, if I would have done 5 matches, you'd see that there was a reward there of some gold, and it just gives you all the rewards in a chain as soon as you click it. So that's a thing. But if you guys enjoyed this, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys next time on GamerFi, I guess, because they did do some significant changes to this. There are plans for tournament 2v2 and co-op coming out, so yeah. Keep gaming, have fun, peace out, like I already said. This has been Alzorath, and I will see you guys next time on Forgotten Myths. Bye.